Page 250. Page 250. Page 250.
Espera un momentito, mira, espera. Voy a ver, ya va.
Page
Espérate que
250.
viene.
250.
250.
Page 250. Page 250. Apralayo payo dijale kritavana shivedan Vihita vihitra chaitam mateta Apralayo dijale kritavana shivedan Vihita vihitra chaitam Hare Gadādhara Paṇḍita.
Little talk today on Jai Gurudev Hari Krishna. Glories of Sri Baladev, and of course Nityananda Prabhu, who is non-different from Balaram. Baladeva, Balaram. Purnima Titi means the full moon. Many about figures whose birthdays we celebrate in the calendar are born on Purnima Titi. Titi means a lunar day. Every 12 degrees of displacement from the sun, on what is known as Amavasya Titi. And the moon travels faster than the sun, so the moon will move away from the sun. So it moves away the first 12 degrees, that's known as Pratipad. 12 to 24 degrees, Dvitiya. 24 to 36, Tritiya, etc. Chaturthi, Panchami. Right through to Purnim. So it is the 15th day of the waxing moon, Purnim Titi, when the moon is between 178 and 190 degrees away from the sun. It's at full strength. The moon rules rasa. Rasa is the taste, the joy in a relationship. So when the moon is between 178 and 190 degrees away from the sun, then the capacity to taste rasa is at its maximum. There are other places, positions where the moon may be where rasa is induced, such as Ekadasi Titi. The rasa pursuit of Krishna, the rasa quest, even though Krishna is Rasa Raj, which means the king of rasa, he is also on a quest to taste his own beauty, to sample his own rasa. And it's from this quest of self-enjoyment that the spiritual reality springs forth. We have expansions from Krishna. Radha Krishna eka atma dui dehadari ananya vilasa rasa ashvadana kari. This is a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita by Kaviraj, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And he says, Radha Krishna eka atma. What does that mean? It means that Radha and Krishna are one soul. Eka atma. Dui dehadari. They have assumed dui, two deha forms. Ananya vilasa rasa ashvadana kari. For the purpose of tasting rasa. They have assumed two forms. Simultaneously, that is not the extent of Krishna's expansion. Krishna immediately also expands into a personality known as Balaram. And Balaram is the prime organizer of the environment in which Radha and Krishna taste their rasa. Balaram creates structures, sets down the laws for that environment, along with a figure who is something of akin to Balaram's wife, according to our Gurudev, and that figure is Yogamaya. So we have a masculine figure in Balaram and a feminine figure in Yogamaya who orchestrate the environment, who organize the environment in which Radha and Krishna, et al., taste rasa, engage in their rasa lila, the pastimes in which they plumb, explore, they mine the infinite depths of rasa. Our Param Gurudev, Srila Śrīdhar Mahārāj, who I always like to point out when mentioning our previous acharyas, he's in the central large picture here. He's our grandfather Guru, Hare Krishna. And he has explained the tattva of Balaram. Come in, take a seat, don't be shy. Today is a special day, Balaram Purnim. So he has explained the tattva of Balaram in its, he's expressed its ontology. So what does ontology mean? Ontology in this context, in the relevant context, means the theological hierarchy of a particular person or concept. A particular siddhanta, concept, or person. That is the ontology. So Balaram has a plural. Balaram and his further expansions form a multiple sort of identity, ontology. And it begins with Balaram himself, and it extends, say, cascades downwards, down the theological hierarchy. From Balaram to Prabhav Vilas, Mula Sankarshan, Chaturvyuha. And it ends with Anantashesh. Param Gurudev has explained this, and it's recorded in a book we have called the Sri Nityananda Mahimamritam. Glories of Nityananda, the greatness and glories of Nityananda Prabhu. So in his capacity as the immediate expansion of Krishna, Balaram serves as the identity, the person who symbolizes Guru Tattva. Guru means the guide or spiritual preceptor. Tattva means a truth or a reality. So the reality, the person who, or the figure who personifies the reality of Guru Tattva, this is Balaram. As the person who organizes the and facilitates the service to Radha and Krishna. This is one symbol of Guru Tattva. Another personification of Guru Tattva, of course, is Srimati Radharani herself. Now, just as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna combined, so this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the altar, as we know, and the deepest conception of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is as Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna assuming one form. We have a song called the Sri Sāraswat-ārati, which was composed again by our grandfather Guru, Srila Śrīdhar Mahārāj, which describes the siddhanta and the conception, the theology, which on which our worship is based, which describes the combination of Radha and Krishna as Mahaprabhu. The third verse in that song, which is known as Sri Sāraswat-ārati, it says, Radha Sham Ekatanu Dakshe Gauraraya Bame Radha Madhye Swayam Sham Gopajaya. Radha Sham, you know this is Radha Krishna. Ekatanu, again, one form. Dakshe Gauraraya. Gauraraya is a name for Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So the translation of this verse says, Radha Sham, Radha and Krishna, one body. Dakshe, this is talks about the physical arrangement of our deities on the altar. Dakshe means right. Dakshe means on the right-hand side. So in our altar scheme, you'll see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always positioned on the right-hand side of the altar. Radha Sham Ekatanu Dakshe Gauraraya. So what does this say? It says that Radha and Krishna have assumed one body and they're sitting on the right-hand side of our altars. You see Mahaprabhu, and this is from their perspective, not from our perspective, he's on the left, but it's Mahaprabhu-centric. The song is not us-centric, but rather Mahaprabhu-centric. So he is sitting on the right-hand side. The second line of the verse says, Bame Radha Madhye Swayam Sham Gopajaya. And Bame means left. So Bame Radha, on the left is Radha, and Madhye means in the middle, in between. So in between them, Madhye Swayam Sham Gopajaya. Swayam means the original. So the original form of God, Sham as a cowherd boy, Gopa, and glory to them, Jaya. So that is the description of the tattva and the theology underpinning our altar arrangement. So if you see here, on the left-hand side of the altar, from their perspective, we have Giriraj Govardhan, who is Radha Giridhari. She has a special gunjamala, or a necklace, surrounding the stone from Govardhan. This is a kind of a berry that is dried and preserved and formed into a necklace, and it represents Srimati Radharani, or it's considered to be Srimati Radharani. So in combination with Giriraj, we have the coupling, or the two, and that is Radha Giridhari. So if they were to take traditional Murti forms, as we have with the case of Mahaprabhu, you would see Krishna in the middle and Radharani, Srimati Radharani on the left. So, Bame Radha Madhye Swayam Sham Gopajaya. So just as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a combination of Radha and Krishna, the same in identity, but what is the difference? We say he is the same, but there is a difference. Hi James, Hare Krishna. There is a difference. Now what is that difference? It's a difference in what we might call, and what our grandfather Guru has termed, magnanimity. So they are of the same stuff, but one is somewhat private. Krishna Lila is somewhat private, but Gaura Lila, that's Mahaprabhu's activities, are conducted in distribution mode. So there is a high degree of, an outrageous degree of generosity. It's being given, it's overflooding, it's being distributed. So whereas Krishna Lila is somewhat confidential, private, Gaura Lila is quite the opposite in its character. It is the same stuff, but it's being widely distributed. There is a verse that our Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj, who is on the left of these pictures, liked to quote. And it's a special verse because it's one of two verses which he said he would like to distribute everywhere. It's one of two verses which he has a special desire to broadcast, to push, to spread around, to publish and tell everybody, etc. And it goes, Krishna Lila Amrita Sara Tara Sata Sata Dara Dasa Dike Vahe Yaha Hoite Se Chaitanya Lila Hai Sarovara Akshai Manohamsa Charaha Tahate. And it means that Krishna Lila, or the activities of Krishna and his Madhura Rasa associates, headed by Srimati Radharani, are an ocean of nectar. And they are flowing in different directions, and Chaitanya Lila is pushing that out. Chaitanya Lila is a reservoir which is distributing that liberally. Tara Sata Sata Dara, flowing in multiple thousands of directions. And the prayer, of course, is to let my mind dive and swim, immerse itself in that reservoir of nectar, which is Krishna Lila being distributed by Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So it's the same stuff, but one is kept somewhat confidential and the other is being magnanimously broadcast. So I won't jump the gun here. So that is why Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna combined, but he has the luster of Srimati Radharani, he has the mood, the inner bhav, sentiment of Srimati Radharani, and he's also distributing her wealth quite liberally, quite freely. So this is considered by those fortunate enough to see Mahaprabhu as such, as a very rare event. So rare, in fact, that it happens only once in a day of Brahma. Now, Brahma's day is very long. Brahma's day, according to Shastra, according to Purana, and it's been reproduced in the early chapters of Adi Lila Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahma's day is 3.42 billion years. That's a long time period, 3.42 billion. So Mahaprabhu's appearance, that's Brahma's day. That's from sunrise to sunset. So from sunset to sunrise is another 3.42 billion. So what do we have? 7 point something billion, right? No, yes. No, what would it be? 6.84 billion. So once every 6.84 billion years, Mahaprabhu appears as Radha Krishna combined. This is the realization of the devotees who have appreciated Mahaprabhu in his full-fledged conception of Radha Sham Ekatanu, Radha Krishna combining into one form. Happens only once every all that time period. It may seem fantastical to our rational brain, which goes, how can you conceive of something happening once every 6.42 billion years? But of course, the infinite is just that. 6.42 billion years is negligible. It doesn't actually mean anything on an infinite timeline. It means something to us when we're trapped in this world of time and space. But in the ultimate infinite world, it's not much. And when that infinite chooses to reveal itself in the finite world, then these things can be understood, including massive timelines, which may seem somewhat fantastical to the rational brain. So this conception is considered a very confidential and special conception, where Krishna and Radha have assumed one form and descended to distribute that very secret love. Now, when the head of our school, Rupa Goswami, when he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Prayag, he described him as Mahabadannaya, which means greatly merciful, because of this function of liberally distributing this most secret devotional substance, Radha Bhav. And what has been seen as the most liberal, you could say, descent of divinity, where that spiritual substance is being generously distributed, believe it or not, that is not the most generous person that we have in our array of persons that we worship. Because our Gurudev has said that even though Mahaprabhu is known as Mahabadannaya, which means greatly merciful, still there is some eligibility applied to whom gets the mercy. There is some criterion, one criterion, and that is that the person must have a little bit of faith. So you must have some faith in order to take that substance on board and to appreciate it, to take it on board, and then cultivate it, to use it. So there's one criterion, a little bit of faith is required. But there's another person in who is also a distributor, who distributes the same substance, but no criterion is attached. No criterion, no eligibility applies in this distribution. In fact, when you say, how can a person appreciate the spiritual substance if they don't have any faith? Well, this person supplies them with the faith. So that's another category of merciful distribution, where you're not only distributing it freely to people with minimum eligibility, i.e. a modicum of faith, but you are supplying it to people with no faith because you give them that eligibility. You supply them with the prerequisites necessary to appreciate what you're distributing. So, who is this person? That person is Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu is synonymous with Balaram, whose birthday it is today, whose appearance day is today. So we see Balaram as the immediate expansion of Krishna, but even more relevant to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas is not the form of Balaram in Vrindavan, but the form of Nityananda Prabhu in the Gaura Lila, in the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because he is the chief propagator, he is the chief distributor of Mahaprabhu's wealth. We talk about Gaura Lila as being Tara Sata Sata Dara, spreading and being distributed liberally in all directions. Well, this is done by Mahaprabhu, but even more so, to an even more extremely liberal degree, by Nityananda Prabhu. There is no limit to the breadth of his distribution. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu settled in Jagannath Puri after his journeying around India for 6 years, which is known as his Madhya Lila, he instructed Nityananda Prabhu to go to Bengal, not to stay with him in Puri. He sent him to Bengal with a specific instruction to spread Krishna consciousness, we use it as a broad term, Krishna consciousness, amongst the working classes of Bengal. He said, don't worry too much about the aristocracy. Spread it amongst the common people. You have an ability to do that. Mahaprabhu instructs him to do that. And so this is what Nityananda Prabhu does. And Mahaprabhu says, give them the name of Krishna. So in his role as synonymous, identical with Balaram, that is the original guru, Nityananda Prabhu takes to propagating the message in Bengal amongst the masses. And the popularity of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's teachings, his faith, tradition, Gaudiya Vaishnavism in Bengal is originally due to the preaching, the outreach work of Nityananda Prabhu in the, what would it be, late 15 teens and 1520s. And later, Nityananda Prabhu outlived Gauranga Mahaprabhu, that is, in terms of their shakshat, what is known as shakshat, or their physical presence on this earth. So Nityananda Prabhu is so, you could say, obsessed, sold out to Gauranga Mahaprabhu, that when he went to Bengal to expedite this order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he didn't ask people to chant Hare Krishna. Instead, he asked them to chant the name of Gauranga. And his MO was to beg the people, please take the name of Gauranga. And he would roll in the dust outside their doors, take the name. And his song was, Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laha Gauranga Nam, Ye Jan Gauranga Bhajay, Say Hi Amara Pran, which means worship Gauranga, Laha, talk about Gauranga, Kaha, chant Gauranga's name, worship, talk, sing, Ye Jan Gauranga Bhajay, he who worships Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Say Hi Amara Pran, is my life and soul. So he says, you will be my life and soul, just take the name of Gauranga. And he's rolling round on the ground outside the doors in these villages, like an intoxicated madman. He is intoxicated in the glorification of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And we see this is the qualification of the highest guru, is that they are intoxicated in the Leela of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. We have a verse that we sing every morning, and in ISKCON, it's actually the first song that they sing every morning. It's called Sri Guruvastakam. Astaka means 8 verses. Guruva, referring to the Guru. So 8 verses in praise of the Guru. It's by one Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And the second or third verse in that 8-verse song goes, Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Varitramadyan Manaso Rasena Romancha Kampasru Taranga Vajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. So it's a very appropriate song in general because it's praising the Guru. And who is the Guru? Nityananda Prabhu. Sri Balaram, whose appearance today, they are one in identity. So Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita. So the kirtan of Mahaprabhu, we're talking about Nityananda Prabhu being intoxicated in the glories and the propagation of the glories of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So this is a kind of kirtan. Kirtan means to speak the glories. Kaha Gauranga, Laha Gauranga. So Vishwanath Chakravarti has described how the guru in our tradition, the real bona fide topmost guru, Mahaprabhu Kirtan. In this Kirtan of Mahaprabhu, what are they doing? Nritya, they're dancing. Gita, they're singing. Gita means a poem. So they're singing the lyrics of this glorification of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's Kirtan, Mahaprabhu Kirtan, Gauranga Kirtan, Nritya Gita. They're dancing and they're singing, dancing and singing. Vaditra, playing instruments, mridanga, kartal, etc. Vaditra means you've got an instrument and you're playing it while dancing and singing. Madhyan, they're crazy, they're intoxicated. Vaditra Madhyan. So you have this image of someone in Mahaprabhu's Kirtan, they're dancing, they're singing, they're playing instruments, and they're intoxicated. They're not drunk, they're not stoned, but they're intoxicated. What? Vaditra Madhyan Manaso Rasena. Their mind is saturated in rasa. This nectar that is coming from Krishna Lila and is being distributed in Gaura Lila, the true Guru is tasting that in the Kirtan of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Their mind is intoxicated in this rasa. Manaso Rasena, the mind, mano, rasena, is saturated in drinking this rasa and becoming quite intoxicated, and they're dancing and they're singing and playing instruments. This is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's description of the Guru. So we can see this manifest when Nityananda Prabhu goes to Bengal. He's rolling on the ground, calling out Gauranga's name. Whoever does the same becomes his very life. Say hi, Amara Pran, you will be my life. So this is the aspiration, is to make Gauranga Mahaprabhu one's very life and soul. And to do this, we are told we must find a Guru who has achieved that position, who is living that. Because unless you have something, how can you give it to someone else? If someone asks you for some money, some wealth, and you don't have it, how can you supply them? How can you meet their demand? You can't. So it's the same basic logical principle with the Guru. If you find a Guru who has the spiritual wealth, then they can give it to you. They can supply it to you. So this is the whole idea of the glorification of Nityananda Prabhu, is also the glorification of one's Guru. And Nityananda Prabhu is fulfilling that, or the Guru is fulfilling that function of Nityananda Prabhu to distribute the wealth of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, which is the wealth of Srimati Radharani, which is the Mahabhav, there's the Krishna Prem. It's the highest love that any living entity can ever hope to experience anywhere in any dimension. So this is why it's seen as very special. This is why the Guru is given so much reverence and respect, because they're delivering the highest wealth. We may worship someone who can satisfy us in other ways, give us a promotion, right? Or whatever other ambition or desire may be facilitated through the agency of a second party. We may adore that person based on the value of what they give us. But consider the value of what a genuine Guru is giving. The highest ecstasy and pleasure available anywhere in reality. The highest rasa, the highest taste, the highest love. So this is why the Guru is venerated as the highest person. And it's on this day that the Guru's mercy is particularly applicable, on special days. Thank you, Prabhu. And this is why we honor and discuss such a principle today, to understand the concept so that we can apply it consciously in our lives. Further, we may describe some of the agency through which Nityananda Prabhu has facilitated the glorification of Mahaprabhu. And remember, a reminder that Balaram and Nityananda Prabhu are one and the same. Just as Krishna and Gauranga Mahaprabhu are one and the same. Come in, you can take a seat down here. You can, of course, yeah. So just as Krishna and Gauranga Mahaprabhu are one and the same, so is Baladev and Nityananda Prabhu. So, of course, it's Baladev's appearance today. So, Nityananda Prabhu is one and the same. So, glorification of Nityananda Prabhu is also glorification of Balaram. There's no difference. In our recent history, we're talking about Nityananda Prabhu's hyper magnanimity, extreme magnanimity, and how Mahaprabhu is described by the head of our school, or Sampradaya, Rupa Goswami, as Mahabadannaya. So if he is Mahabadannaya, then Nityananda Prabhu must be Mahabadannaya, greatly, extra merciful. Not just greatly merciful, but greatly merciful to the nth degree. And if we care to analyze it, we can see the agency of Nityananda Prabhu wherever there is the distribution of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's glories. Wherever there is the broadcasting of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's glories and the distribution of his Vani, means his teachings, his ethos. Gauranga Mahaprabhu's what he is, his ultimately is the love of Srimati Radharani. So wherever there is the distribution of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's substance in the background or sometimes in the foreground, we can find the agency of Nityananda Prabhu. One example of this is in the biographies of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These biographies glorify Gauranga Mahaprabhu and for the benefit of others, so that we can take advantage of them. They have been written. The foremost of these biographies is known as the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's a nectarian pastimes of charit activities, Amrita, the nectar of the activities of Sri Chaitanya. There's another one known as the Chaitanya Bhagavat, and another known as the Chaitanya Mangala. These are the three primary, considered authentic and authorized biographies of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Our great-grandfather guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who's on the right-hand side here, he published these three. Although there's some 7 or 8 biographies of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he considered these three to be reliable in terms of there's no interpolation, there's no questionable conclusions or spurious history. In other words, they can be trusted and relied upon. So he published these three. Chaitanya Mangal is written by one Lochan Das Thakur, comes in the line of Gadādhara Pandit. Chaitanya Bhagavat is the original. It's written by one Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is a direct disciple of Nityananda Prabhu. And Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the most famous and comprehensive of the biographies, written by one Krishnadas Kaviraj. And behind all three, if we care to analyze, we can find the agency and the influence of Nityananda Prabhu. The original, who started this trend of writing about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Well, we can say that Murari Gupta, one associate, and Swarup Damodar, they kept notes. But these were private. Who started the trend of the public broadcasting of the glories of Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Hey, Amit, Hare Krishna. We can only say one person, Nityananda Prabhu. Directly sent by Gauranga Mahaprabhu as the person solely capable of distributing Gauranga Mahaprabhu's glories. So he's sent to Bengal, and we discussed the aforementioned Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laha Gauranga Ranam, etc. Rolling in the dust. These, believe it or not, were the first initiations. Nowadays, initiation is a bit more standardized. Some groups, you take lifelong vows before you'll get the holy name. But back in the day, that wasn't the case. It was, please take it. I beg you, take it. You'll be my life and soul. These were the first initiations in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. It was Nityananda rolling outside your door. Chant Gauranga's name. You'll be my life and soul. Of course, adjustments need to be made according to time, place, and circumstance. So we're not criticizing any group's traditions. They all have their purpose. But we must note that these were how the first the first broadcasting and spreading of the Mahamantra was conducted by Nityananda Prabhu in the 1520s. Now that wasn't enough, of course. What does Nityananda Prabhu tell his disciple, Vrindavan Das Thakur? Write about the glories of Mahaprabhu, put it on paper. We need it for posterity, for the benefit of the future generations. And of course, here we are on the other side of the world, some 500 years later, with this literature, talking about these histories. So Mahaprabhu tells Vrindavan Das. So he is the original propagator of Mahaprabhu's message. The Gauravani means the message of Gauranga. So he begins this writing of Mahaprabhu's biographies with his instruction to his disciple Vrindavan Das. Sit here, he tells him, in one place called Denur in West Bengal. Sit here and write this Chaitanya Bhagavat. Originally it was called Chaitanya Mangal. They changed the name, Chaitanya Bhagavat. So this was written under the direct instruction, by the obvious agency of Nityananda Prabhu. We can go, how are these other three biographies, which were considered authentic and published by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, how can we trace the influence of Nityananda Prabhu in them? Well, if we read in the, the early chapters of the Adi Lila Chaitanya Charitamrita, yes, it is in, there is a chapter, I think maybe 4, 5, is it? Yeah, maybe 5 or 6, anyway. Relatively early chapters of the first section of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where the author, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, describes how he came to write about Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He tells the background. And who features in that? It's Nityananda Prabhu. To give a little context, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we read here every morning, he tells how he was at home in Bengal, and he is living with his brother in a Brahmin family. One day they're having an utsav, a festival, and one of Nityananda Prabhu's, this is a little after the departure of Mahaprabhu, one of Nityananda Prabhu's friends, he had 12 close associates or friends called Gopas, the Dvadasha Gopas. Dvadasha simply means 12. So the 12 cowherd boy friends, they were in the mood of Krishna's cowherd boy friends. And they would accompany Nityananda Prabhu. Sometimes they'd go off on their own. So there was this one cowherd boyfriend, Dvadasha Gopa, called Miniketan Ram. And he hears about this utsav, this festival at the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj and his brother. So he attends. Now, because Nityananda Prabhu is known as Avadut, he's not orthodox. In fact, he's extremely unorthodox. He dresses however he wants to dress. He dances when he wants to. He doesn't follow cultural customs and traditions, conventions. In fact, he has a proclivity to break conventions. So it's difficult to accept Nityananda Prabhu by some of the orthodoxy of the time. Anyway, his cowherd boy friend, Miniketan Ram, arrives at this utsav. He has a flute and he's dressed as a cowherd boy with a turban and maybe wearing bird feathers and playing his flute. And the orthodox Brahmin performing the puja at this festival could not accommodate his style. It's like, who is this dude that's turned up with the flute and dressed like a cowherding boy? And he's like, okay, he's on some kind of trip, but this is not correct. This is not spiritual. It's some kind of mental kind of thing, image that he's creating, whatever. So he's thinking in this critical way towards Miniketan Ram, unable to appreciate the rasa that Miniketan Ram is actually living in, the spiritual identity that he is living in. So in his mind he's committing, and they dismiss him. The priest dismisses him, ignores him, shuns him, gives him the cold shoulder, reticent, doesn't speak to him. And at a festival to do this to a guest is quite dishonorable, quite offensive. Miniketan Ram feels offended and he snaps his flute. He leaves leaves the festival. And observing all of this, Krishnadas Kaviraj, this is the home of his brother, Krishnadas Kaviraj is greatly perturbed. And he's in this state of great anxiety to see this, who he sees as an honorable guest, as an associate of Nityananda Prabhu, offended. He doesn't know what to do, and at night he's having a fitful sleep, and Nityananda Prabhu comes to him in a dream that night after the festival. And he says, Krishnadas, fret no more, arise, go straight to Vrindavan. Don't hesitate, don't procrastinate, go straight to Vrindavan. And Krishnadas awakes with a jolt, with this very lucid dream. And he sees that the dawn is approaching. This is called a time called the Brahma Muhurta, just before sunrise. And immediately he awakes and bathes and sets off that very instant, just before sunrise. Very instant he sets off for Vrindavan. Nityananda Prabhu had told him in the dream, have no fear, all of your fortune is to be found in Vrindavan. And so Krishnadas Kaviraj, he recounts this dream in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, maybe the 5th or 6th chapter. So he goes to Vrindavan, and as a result of this urging, this dream which catalyzes action, this trip to Vrindavan, he ends up writing the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, again through the agency of Nityananda Prabhu. So direct instruction to Vrindavan Das, write about Mahaprabhu. Instruction to Krishnadas Kaviraj, go to Vrindavan, you'll find your fortune there. What is the crowning fortune? The writing of this literature, which again we have for our own benefit, so many centuries later, through the agency of Nityananda Prabhu. So we may ask, well, what about the third biography, known as Chaitanya Mangala, by one Lochan Das Thakur? How does Nityananda Prabhu feature in that? Where is the agency of Nityananda Prabhu? So it's a little more hidden. So Lochan Das is a disciple of one Narahari Sakara, who is a disciple of Gadādhara Pandit, intimate friend of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we see how Lochan Das has composed most of the songs. Jagannath, Hari Hari Bol. If we look through our songbook here, and we look at the songs to Nityananda Prabhu, there are maybe, I don't know, how many do we have? Half a dozen songs to Nityananda Prabhu approximately? We'll find that half of them, at least, are composed by Lochan Das Thakur. That's a special status. We have others, one by, a couple of was one by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, maybe one by Narottam Das Thakur, one or two, and then one maybe by Premananda Das. So, but the majority of them are composed by this Lochan Das, because he has absorbed, he knows that to write about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to preach his glories, requires the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. And due to this, his absorption in Nityananda Prabhu, he composes these songs, these devotional songs to Nityananda Prabhu. As he is writing this biography, it's actually a rasa-saturated biography of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Our Gurudev says that the Chaitanya Mangal and Chaitanya Bhagavat are very rasa-based, whereas the Chaitanya Charitamrita has a little more philosophy in it. So in all the three biographies which broadcast out and distribute, describe, record the glories of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we see the background or the foreground agency of Nityananda Prabhu. And thus he is considered the ultimate guru. Or we could say, this thus symptomizes or expresses or illustrates his role as the ultimate guru. And what is this ultimate guru? How does it manifest in its most desirable way? Is the connection with Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Radha Krishna, what is that verse? Anyway, the verse, The idea being that through the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is achieved. So this is our basic approach to Gauranga Mahaprabhu, is done through Nityananda Prabhu. So through the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, one obtains Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and through the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, one attains Radha Krishna, that substance. So that's some little glory of Sri Balaram, who is non-different from Nityananda Prabhu, whose chief function in Goloka Vrindavan is to facilitate the Leela of Radha Krishna, and whose chief function in Gaura Leela is to distribute the glories and the Vani, the nectar, the Amrit of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to all and sundry without qualification. So not only Guru, but the most liberal of Gurus, who supplies the eligibility to appreciate the substance. Not just the substance, but the prerequisite required to appreciate it. So giving everything. So we may say, what is needed to tap into this? Hyperliberalism. Hyperliberal distribution of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mercy. What is required? Just some desire. Just some desire for it. You don't even have to have solid faith, but just a little bit of desire for it. Because ultimately nothing can be forced on the jiva. Everything must happen as a result of one's own choice and volition and free will. Nothing is forced. So just a little desire, and that is the seed which will blossom into the tree of... The tree is known as the tree of Krishna Prem, Mahaprabhu's tree. The fruits of Krishna Prem. And all starts with just some desire. So just to have that desire is considered special, fortunate. And if that desire is then elicits the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, who will supply faith and contact, entry into the Leela of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, whom we worship here. So it all begins with Nityananda Prabhu as the ultimate guru, first point of contact. And also, say Nityananda Prabhu, first point of contact, he's begging unqualified people, distributing Gauranga Mahaprabhu to unqualified people, supplying them with the qualification. But he is not just for beginners. Our grandfather guru, Śrīla Śrīdhar Mahārāj, in the middle, he, even in his very elderly days, would cry out for the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. He would say, Gaud Haribol, Nittai, Nittai, Gaud Haribol. He was begging for the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. There is a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita which says, Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula Hoy Sadhu Sangha Krishna Prema Janma Tenho Puna Mukhya Anga, which means that Krishna Bhakti Janma, the birth, the root, Janma Mula, the Krishna Bhakti, the root of it, Sadhu Sangha, lies in Sadhu Sangha. But Krishna Prema Janma Tenho Puna Mukhya Anga, the chief limb of Krishna Prem is also Sadhu Sangha. So we have the root, the very basis is Sadhu Sangha, but also the topmost accomplishment, the prayojan, the achievement of the goal. The chief limb of that is also Sadhu Sangha. So the best type of Sadhu Sangha is association with the Guru, the qualified Guru. The Guru is the topmost devotee, top Sadhu. So the association with the Guru and service to the Guru is both the foundation and the chief characteristic of the pinnacle achievement of bhakti. So this is Nityananda Prabhu. He sits at the very basis and he sits at the very top. The root and also the chief limb of Krishna Prem. So we see Paramahansa Vaishnavas, such as our illustrious gurus, crying out for the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, because it encompasses the entire spectrum of bhakti development, from its foundation to its crowning pinnacle, to the full blossoming of the fruits of Krishna Prem. The chief limb is the mercy of the Guru. There is a lot more that can be said about Nityananda Prabhu. On his, we could briefly mention the specific role of Nityananda Prabhu in the formation of this society that we belong to, known as the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. It was our Param Gurudev, when he founded the Math in 1941 in Navadvip. Prior to that, when he conceived of forming the Math in Navadvip, he went to Ekachakra, which is the birthplace of Nityananda Prabhu, and bowing down in the dust there, he petitioned Nityananda Prabhu to allow him to live in Navadvip. Because Nityananda Prabhu is Dhameshwara. He is the controller of the Dham, Navadvip Dham. Ishvara means the governor or the controller. So Dham Ishvara is Nityananda Prabhu. So our Param Gurudev Srila Śrīdhar Mahārāj is lying down in the dust of Ekachakra, and he's begging Nityananda Prabhu, asking him for permission to go to Navadvip, to live in Navadvip. And very clearly, very lucidly, Nityananda Prabhu comes into his consciousness and says to him, I hear your petition, but you must consider this. You have so much wealth of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. You have so much of this treasure, but you're keeping it to yourself. You're not giving it out. He said, you are asking me for my mercy, my allowance to live in this area that I am Lord of, but you yourself are not being merciful to others who are in need of mercy. Isn't this a little bit of a conundrum? Isn't this a little bit of a sort of contradiction? So, our Param Gurudev Srila Śrīdhar Mahārāj, he considers these words of Nityananda Prabhu. He is given allowance, of course, to live in the Dham, which he does. He founds the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. But consider this. These words of Nityananda Prabhu are always there in Param Gurudev's consciousness. And it's due to this advice that he said, in reply, or in acceptance, acknowledgement of this instruction, or this communication from Nityananda Prabhu, he says, he comes to the position where he says, well, he acquiesces and says, well, even though he had made a resolution to not accept any disciples, he said, okay, if people approach me, I cannot deny them. And this is how the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math started. And this is how we are here today, because of Nityananda Prabhu. Again. Now what about ISKCON? Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, our Param Gurudev called him, identified him as the Shakti Vaishyavatar of, guess who? Someone say it. Nityananda Prabhu. So behind all of the propagation, the preaching of Gauranga Mahaprabhu is one figure, Nityananda Prabhu. So today is a special day connected to Nityananda Prabhu. Balaram specifically, but synonymous. Balaram and Nityananda Prabhu are one and the same. So there are some glories of Nityananda Prabhu, and we can be thankful and appreciate and contemplate how it is his, all of the preaching and the Tara Sata Sata Dara, say Chaitanya Leela Hoy, Sarovara Akshai, the swimming in the reservoir of Gauranga Leela, the nectar of Gauranga Leela, is all done, is all come about due to the agency of Nityananda Prabhu. Everything comes about due to the agency of Nityananda Prabhu. From the beginning contact, the supplying of the faith, to the entry into the higher levels of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's teachings. There is, I think we'll conclude that. Is there any questions? Any comments, questions, elaborations, disagreements? There's one pranam mantra, generally quite sick. This is Baladev's pranam mantra, as was quoted by our Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj. So I'll just conclude with it. This is directly quoted by our Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj. So I'll just conclude with it. This is directly to Lord Balaram. So I'll just conclude with it. This is directly to Lord Balaram. It's Svura damala kiritam kinkini kankanarham chala dala kakapolam kundala shri mukhabjam tuhina giri manojgyam nila megam baradyam halam musala vishalam kamapalam samire. Translation: I worship him who has a shining pure crown with bangles, with moving curls of hair on his cheeks, with his lotus face decorated with earrings, etc., wearing rich blue clothes, and carrying his huge plough and club. We have Haladara, the plough carrier. This is Balaram's weapon. It looks like an ice pick on the plough. Hala, Dara means to hold. The holder of the plough, Haladara. As we were singing in the song earlier, Keshavadrita Haladara Rupa, the form of the plough carrier. So we can glorify Balaram and Nityananda Prabhu on today and petition Sri Nityananda Prabhu for his mercy, which is liberally distributed. We just need to desire it. Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavita Matahi Kriyatam Yari Kutopi Labhyate Tatra Lolyam Apimulyam Ekalam Koti Janma Sukrite Nalabhyate. No amount of sukriti can get it, but you just need to want it. Tatra Lolyam Apimulyam Ekalam. There's one way you get it. Lolyam, a desire. Lolyam generally means an intense desire. It's like really wanting something. So that's how you get it. That's the only qualification. You just need to want it. Quite simple. Just as you want, we're conditioned and conditioned to want things of the external environment. So it's simply rechanneling that same desire to want things of a more permanent value, and they will gradually come into one's life. Yuvatinam yatha yuniyunam cha yuvato. Yuvatinam yatha yuniyunam cha yuvato yatha manu biramate tadvan mano biramatam tvai. The verse says, just as young people have young boys attracted to young girls, vice versa, the minds are moha, infatuated with such this romantic kind of thing. Well, then take that same mental immersion and direct it towards the spiritual substance. That same thing, rechannel it. It's not a reinvention of anything, it's simply a repurposing. And that requires simply some desire, some lolyam, the wanting to do it. And everything, tatra lolyam, api mulyam, ekalam. So desire to do it, and when you find it, purchase it. Don't delay, don't procrastinate. That's the verse. Tatra lolyam, api mulyam, ekalam. All right, so we'll finish there. Jai Shri Balaram Punim ki Jai, Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Oh. Gurudev. Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswāmī Mahārāj ki Jai.
Bhakti.